Across the country, there are delays on public transport and some schools are closed as well in protest at the law which raises the retirement age to 64. Now, unions say the industrial action today is particularly crucial ahead of a much-awaited decision tomorrow by France's Constitutional Council, which will weigh in on whether the law is compatible with the French constitution. Well, overall today, the marches are expected to be peaceful, but earlier this afternoon, a group of protesters did storm the headquarters of the luxury goods company LVMH, which owned brands including Louis Vuitton. Well, we can cross now to the main march in Paris. Our senior reporter Catherine Norris Trent is there. And Catherine, clearly there are tensions in parts of Paris today. What can you tell us about what's happening where you are at the moment?
Hi Nadia, I'm downtown right in the centre of Paris on what is usually one of the main shopping streets, although there's not much business going on there today. You've got thousands and thousands of protesters there. You can see some of the crowd marching right through the heart of Paris. It's tense. So far things are largely peaceful on this main protest march. There's been a couple of small fires, bins set alight, but apart from that, there's a kind of simmering anger among the crowd and people you speak to, but we've not seen widespread scenes of rioting. Earlier on today, on the Champs-Élysées, in another part of central Paris, there a splinter group of protesters burst into the headquarters of LVMH, the luxury group, which includes brands like Louis Vuitton. We haven't seen such scenes here on the Rue de Rivoli, for those who know Paris. A lot of shops are boarded up, shops and banks. There's been some advertising signs broken. But so far, most of the marchers are just continuing to chant, to cry their slogans, to wave their placards and continue to voice their resistance to these pension reforms.
And Catherine, this is the 12th day of strikes in France. You've covered a number of these protests. Do the numbers seem big to you? Are people telling you as well they're going to go out in the weeks ahead, come what may, from the Constitutional Council? Or does this feel like the beginning of the end of the protest movement?
It's difficult to talk about exact numbers when you're in the middle of the protest itself. I mean, it looks like a lot of people, doesn't it, on the streets, but we're going to have to wait until we get the count. At the end or towards the end of the day, there's always different figures from France's Interior Ministry and from the trade unions, wildly different itself. But we'll see how they compare to previous weeks, and it will be interesting to see, yes, whether this protest movement is dwindling or whether the unions and the opposition to these reforms are managing to get the numbers out on the streets. People I've been speaking to tell me they are determined to carry on, no matter what the French Constitutional Council says tomorrow, whether they wave this law through fully or partially. A lot of people here are hoping that that the Constitutional Council will actually go the other way and order a referendum, which people here are very confident they would win, striking down the pension reform. So we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of determination. Not quite sure what the numbers are like yet. And of course, everyone's waiting to see what happens on this decision on Friday and where that will take the movement from here.
All right, well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll be covering all of that, of course, here on France 24. For now, Catherine Norris Trent, thanks very much.